With giant thorns and slimy innards, cactus doesn't look like your average food, but with the right approach, you can make a tasty meal without getting maimed. The prickly pear cactus is not as defenseless as it may appear. It's actually very well armed. You may think you can simply grab it by avoiding its large, obvious spears. Not so. Hiding between these are almost invisible spines with barbed ends. If you try to peel the skin first, you might wind up with several of these spiky things in your fingers. Instead, you need to burn them off over a campfire first, which sounds like a lot of work.
It's not worth it! It's just not worth it!
Thankfully, Muy Bueno has a solution. Apparently, the paddles sold at the grocery store have most of the thorns removed, but not all of them. As such, the outlet recommends holding the paddle with a dish towel and using a knife to cut against the grain of the spines. Make sure you remove all the spikes. You will want to use extra caution when slicing away the edges and base, as they are home to a sizable thorn population. The University of Wyoming adds that you must take away the eye of the thorns, which might involve a bit of cutting and digging. They then recommend that you thoroughly rinse the paddle and remove at least a quarter-inch of its outer flesh. Leave no prickly hazards behind. Before you start hacking away at a plant that appears like it's trying to kill you, you may be asking, what does it taste like? Here are a few descriptions provided by cactus eaters to give us an idea. Muy Bueno says the paddles are very much like a lemony green bean had a baby with okra. Cook Gem agrees with the okra part, adding that the nopales have a hint of sourness with an overall flavor profile similar to a green veggie like asparagus. And Foods Guy concurs, likening it to okra or asparagus as well, adding that the texture changes greatly depending on its preparation. In his YouTube video, Adam Ragusia shares that the paddles contain mucilage, making them rather slimy like okra. He contends that the sliminess doesn't disturb him when he's eating it raw, but it's a completely different story when it's cooked. Foods Guy adds that the ooze can be decreased depending on how it's prepared, but that it truly is part of the paddle's texture, and therefore, the paddle eating experience.
Also bad?
Still, some cultures love this dish and appear to have grown accustomed to dealing with thorns and slime, so there must be something to it. Maybe it's best to try your first bite of cacti by whipping up some traditional dishes. A glimpse at Yumly, and you'll discover recipes for cactus fries, casseroles, smoothies, and pies. You can even try it candied. Registered dietitian Krista Linares said that nopales can be used in a plethora of ways. They can be grilled, pickled, added to scrambled egg dishes, and cut up to accompany tomatoes. They can even be used to make some fresh, tasty nopalitos. After all, they are commonly used in Mexican cuisine. Perhaps this seemingly menacing plant does have a lot to offer. To get the best nopales from an actual cactus, Adam Ragusia says it's important to look for the new petals that appear in the spring because they are more tender. If you're buying them at a grocery store, Muy Bueno recommends selecting ones that have a bright green hue. They should also be wrinkle-free and have some give to them. Stick to ones that are roughly the same size as your mitt, since anything bigger may be the cactus equivalent of shoe leather. You are now prepared to venture into the world of consuming cacti. Yes, you may be a little intimidated and perhaps even a tad frightened, but if you enjoy healthy eating, are a fan of Mexican food, and have an adventurous spirit, this may be a great way to embrace the new year and the novel things that await you.